save, build a, sound money, hodl, 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 save, build a, sound money, hodl, 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 save, build a, sound money, hodl, hodl, save, build a, sound money. Is that you, man, Bitcoin?
That is. We're live on the World Crypto Network.
It's Mad Bitcoin and Ugly Old Goat. Are you ready to be the MC for the Working Man's Bitcoin Conference and Cruise in Ensenada, Mexico?
I'm ready. I've never been to Mexico.
Have you ever been on a cruise?
Never been on a cruise. I think it's going to give it a try. I have no idea what it's going to be like.
We'll probably get deplatformed off of YouTube and Twitter and everything after we do something like that. What do you think?
If we share what really goes on this cruise on the internet, woo, I don't want to see that.
Well, yeah, because goats don't wear clothes normally. You know that. So, and
we're
goat promises.
Tell you guys about the Working Man's Bitcoin Cruise. It's coming up September 19th. So like Jeremy's saying in the chat, he thought we were already streaming from the cruise. There's still a chance for you to go. If you're near Los Angeles, if you're near Mexico, or if you have one of those airplane thingies that could fly you to Los Angeles from maybe anywhere in the US, you can go to the Working Man's Bitcoin Cruise. Ugly, where can people sign up for the Working Man's Bitcoin Cruise?
You know what? I hope you put your referral code at the bottom of this and they can just sign up right through World Crypto Network. And you know what? You'll be helping World Crypto Network if you sign up through the cruise through Mad Bitcoins and World Crypto Network. And this is going to be such a cool and exciting thing. You know what, Mad Bitcoin? We've got a special guest coming, and you might know him. Have you ever heard of Thomas Hunt?
I think I have.
Well, he is probably the original Bitcoin entrepreneur. And he was one of the very first people that I listened to through this thing called World Crypto Network. And in fact, do you know that Gabriel Devine? You ever heard of Gabriel Devine?
Yeah, he's a musician, right?
I think so. But doesn't he appear with that Thomas Hunt quite often on that World Crypto Network thing?
I have. I've seen him on the Bitcoin group and all kinds of other shows.
Well, and then there's so many people that I know years ago.
Then everything froze.
And this Thomas
at
Hunt,
least on my end.
That's where I got to know Tone Bay, and I think Jimmy.
Zoom. You make
and didn't those guys used to be on your show? It seems like if you're going to be something in Bitcoin, you have to start out with Thomas Hunt in this World Crypto Network.
Still on?
Oh, I think we're going. I'm on. Are you?
All right. I think we're back. On internet troubles there. It's going up and down. But like we were saying, you guys in the chat can still join us at the Working Man's Bitcoin Cruise. I'm going to go and put the webpage up on the screen here again. It's September 19th through 22nd. It takes off from Long Beach, California, near Los Angeles. And it's going down to Ensenada, Mexico for just a couple of days. So this is the kind of cruise you can just take off a couple of days, mainly go over the weekend. You don't need to travel to some exotic country like Malta. You can get it right here in the United States.
Right. And everything's included with that cruise. Now, the conference ticket is like a 20th of a Bitcoin or about, but you sign up through Thomas, you get a 15% discount. So it's like 0.0435, which is right about, I don't know, what is that? About less than $400 now. It would be about, am I thinking that? No, about $400 is what it's going to be. And then the cruise itself is another, depending upon what accommodations you get, about another $400. But it includes everything except your drinks. And we also, on the 21st, It happens to coincide with the inaugural Baja 400 race. And so right after you get off that ship, the race starts right there. So that's an extra bonus that you're going to get if you come on this cruise. And of course, the schedule. We just posted the schedule, and I posted that on my Twitter, which is Ugly Old Goat One, and it's going to be a great lineup. There's the Goat Lady. She's going to be helping me. We got Gabriel Divine, and he's going to be talking about Bitcoin memes, and we've got Gustusis, and well, anyway, I'm not going to say what they're talking about because I don't remember. But yeah, go to the scroll down there a little bit, and you can show them the conference. You can probably open. There it is. Just open that up. All right, there's the first one. There's a check-in. You can check in any time on Thursday from 2:30 to 5:30, and then you'll have registration. We'll have a little table somewhere. We're not sure where. And then if you're a VIP, which costs you twice as much, and I think those are sold out, but we will have a special wine and cheese to meet the speakers personally if you bought a VIP ticket, and that'll be in my suite. And then all of the attendees and speakers will have a group dinner, and then we will be going to the conference room where I'll give a little introduction speech, and I'll be talking about we are the Bitcoin Nation. And then we hear from Socrates and Tyler Jenks, 10 Pillars of Bitcoin. Unfortunately, he was going to be the headliner to this event, and we all are so saddened because of his passing. But you know what? At least this first night is going to memorialize a great Bitcoin advocate. He taught me so much about the fundamentals of Bitcoin. Now, this cruise is also uniquely different because we are appealing to entrepreneurs, and particularly those entrepreneurs who have been thinking about Bitcoin but have never purchased Bitcoin, and they really are afraid and don't know what to do. Hey, every speaker here are entrepreneurs, and the reason that Mad Bitcoin is coming is because Thomas Hunt is I consider him the original Bitcoin entrepreneur. And he's definitely had the most experience. He has launched so many people in the space. And that's how I hope you'll tell us all about that. But at any rate, we're going to start the morning off with Zezo Duarte, who is kind enough. He's a youngster that just got started in Bitcoin and was all excited about it and had built his hodl up to about 3.5 Bitcoin and lost it all trading. So he's going to speak from experience. Don't lose your hodl. That's the number one thing we're going to teach you on this thing. And then I'll go in shortly and we'll talk about hodling and save and building, which really is just a rehash of everything I've written. And then we've got a special guest, a Bitcoin motorist, and he'll talk about Bitcoin, the Bitcoin revolution. And then Gustusis, he's going to talk about the soul of Bitcoin. I didn't know Bitcoin had a soul. What do you think of that, Mad Bitcoin? Does Bitcoin have a soul?
Oh, I've always thought it's very religious, and we should get religious protection and then stop paying taxes.
Okay, and then we break for a little lunch. By then, everybody will know each other, and so we don't want to control your time once you know all the speakers and all the attendees. We come back, and my good friend who I followed but never met, this is the first time we will meet, is going to be Gabriel Divine, and he and Tone Bays were always my favorite people on the World Crypto Network. And then we've got a new speaker, Bitcoin as a gateway to a global client market with Katie Ananina. I hope I have that right, but she's a young Russian world traveler that has become very successful in the Bitcoin space. And so I wanted to get her because, she's an example of what this is all about. And then Juan Galt is another young man that I have met at several conferences. From day one, I wanted him to be on this because he's just going to be, he's offering lots of practical advice. So you can go to scroll over with the next page. We can look at the rest of the conference. There you go. Just hit that button there. All right. Now I have Victor Villacana, and if those that follow me, and particularly this is for my subscribers, he's written, I don't really emphasize technical analysis that much. I think it's important, but the most important, even Tone Vays said 90% of trading is managing your funds. And so that's really what I emphasize. And rather than looking at the objective world in trading, you want to look at yourself and your subjective world. So Victor followed me for a long time, and I said, I really think we need to build a sequential app that follows people's not what the market's doing, but what they're doing. And he's done that. And every attendee is going to get a beta version of this thing. It's not fully developed yet, but one of the things that you're going to get that free. Oh, one other thing I need to tell you, you're getting free. This is an incredible thing. If you sign up for the cruise and you are not a member, you will also get a free membership, which it's normally a tenth of a Bitcoin. But so for a 20th of Bitcoin, you're getting all kinds of value. Then we're going to have our number one superstar, and that's Thomas Hunt. And he's going to talk about this World Crypto Network and the whole history, who's been on here and where they are now and where it's going. I mean, it's just an incredible, the number of people that have come out of World Crypto Network is just incredible. And Thomas Hunt, I mean, I have nothing but the deep admiration for his commitment to Bitcoin. And then we have, and this is hopefully a lot of other people attending will have the same thing. Hey, I have no Bitcoin, but I want to be a Bitcoin master chef. What should I do? And that's by Master Chef. Now, this guy is a true master chef. He's actually cooked dinners for the Dalai Lama. So we're going to have just a fireside chat with all the Bitcoin entrepreneurs so we can advise this young up and coming master chef to become a Bitcoin master chef. And then I'm going to, not sure we're going to have the filing in small claims court. I don't know if Josh is going to make it or not, but I'll cover that because I know it well too. If he doesn't show, I will probably do that myself. And then that's it. We have that night, we're going to have the Robert Allen's going to talk about there's a new YouTube. If you haven't seen it, we tweeted it out. But this cartoon about Bitcoin has actually gotten over 250,000 hits since April, which is just incredible. And it really appeals to the young generation. It's a little bit risque and has a little the language is a little bit too much for us old goats, but I know that it hits home with what is that? The millennials or whoever it is. At any rate. But then the big thing is the next day we have that Baja inaugural race. You get off the ship and the race starts right there. And that starts, you can, I think you get off the ship.
Dune buggies or cars or motorcycles?
Oh, these are big. It starts out with motorcycles and then it starts with the trucks. And some of these trucks, I forgot, I just was watching the video, but they start out with the biggest trucks, and that starts out at 10 o'clock. And then every 30 seconds, a truck will go out. And they're big and they're loud and they're noisy. But the first ones are the biggest ones. They let the first ones go first. And yeah, it's really something. You'll be right where they take off and where they come back. That race is 400 miles. Believe it or not, they'll be coming back that afternoon. And so not only can you see
I think like everybody else in the audience, I'm reminded of Hunter S. Thompson and Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas when he went to cover the Mint 400 in the desert there in Las Vegas. And it's impossible to see in this muck. There's no way to cover a race like this with any kind of normal press sensibility. And he had to rely on gonzo journalism to help him cover the dusty race where he couldn't see anything. So hopefully it'll be like that.
Yeah, Bitcoin Motors sent that to me and we tweeted it out. So check my old tweets, or maybe Mad Bitcoin can tweet it out too, because that is a hilarious. That is a hilarious cat. I hadn't seen that movie, but it was funny, and it is kind of like that. I've sent a number of tweets out, but if you've never been, actually, the Baja 1000 is considered the greatest motor race in the world, because it's definitely the hardest and most challenging. So
Those of
we
us who
didn't
had
have
been up all night were in no mood for coffee and donuts. We needed strong drink.
there you go.
Yes.
Well, there will be strong drink available during the race, and there's actually the whole city of Ensenada just lines up the creek bed. There's as many as 500,000 people, that are lining up during the race to watch the thing. It's
So
not a small event.
we're going on a boat. We're going to Mexico, and we're going to a race. And there's still a chance for people at home to sign up for this. People that are saying, "Hey, I made a little money in Bitcoin. I can get Thursday or Friday off. I can do a weekend, right? I work. I'm a working man, but I need some
There you
fun."
go.
And if you're out there looking for fun and you want to hang out with your Bitcoin people, and a lot of people are saying, "I'm not cool to hang out with you mad Bitcoins. I'm not cool enough." Oh, you're cool enough. Everybody's cool enough. I love Bitcoin people. They're all a bunch of nerds,
But hey,
Star Trek and
but
future. Yeah.
you got to be if you're really cool, you got to sign up now, because I will tell you this: it is limited to 60, including the speakers. So, and it will be a sellout. So, whatever you do, get on there and do it now. If you can't sign up for it until you buy a conference ticket, the conference ticket is a 20th of an ounce of Bitcoin. If you sign up through Mad Bitcoin's link on this video, you'll get a 15% discount. Once you send that Bitcoin, then you're going to get an email from Eileen, because she's our liaison with the cruise company, and she will handle all the details for your accommodations. But the accommodations is about $400 per person, and so if you come by yourself, if you want a room by yourself, it's going to be a little bit higher, not quite twice as much, but a couple $100 higher. If you come with someone else, and you just kind of double the price. So that's the way it goes. So it's the whole thing is about $800 per person, and that includes everything. We're going to have lunch at Hugueras, which is my favorite restaurant in Ensenada. It's right there next to the race. And then from there, we're going to actually have a shuttle bus that takes us from the race to the Bitcoin House. Bitcoin House is only like 2 blocks from the beach. We'll have ATVs here. You can go down and have cocoa and Cameroon at the beach, or you can just hang out at the Bitcoin House, because we're going to have a live show, and we probably might have some special guests. You know what? We'll probably have a whole lot of WCN personalities come on during the open house just to say hello.
We're definitely going to be trying to live stream if we can find some internet, or if we can't find some internet. I have my board, and I'm going to have my video camera, and I'm going to record it for later, and I'm going to upload it. And we'll basically pretend that we're live streaming. So you guys will later on, we'll have.
Okay. We can live stream from here at the Bitcoin House. It's the ship that is questionable. But from here, then that's where we wanted to do the WCN. That Saturday, after we've seen the race, after we've had lunch, we're going to have a 3-hour open house here, right here in this studio. And you'll get to see the whole Bitcoin House. In fact, some of the speakers are coming with me. We're going to document this thing from the time we leave the Bitcoin House until we get on the ship and come all the way back. So it's going to be, like I say, this is going to be, let me put it this way. This is going to be like the Woodstock of Bitcoin. If you don't hear about it, and if you don't, there's only, there might be more, but this is the original. And this is the one you want to be at. And even if it gets to be really big, we won't be able to do it during the race, because during the race, the cruise ships sell out. So this is the one and only original.
Well, and a lot of people, they go to these other conferences. They go to Coin Census or Con Census or Coin Asia or all these other things. They cost $1,200 just for a ticket, not for a boat, not for a room and a boat and some food and some fun, but just $1,200 for a boring ticket to a boring conference where you're not going to get to meet anybody. Anybody that goes
bad information, because they say, oh, we're better than Bitcoin. Hey, you're not going to have anything for that here, and there's nothing for sale. Everything we have, we're going to give it away. But if you want to buy more than we give away, you're welcome to buy some more. So there's nothing for sale here. Although we do have I didn't show you. We have our we got to work. You have one of those T-shirts. Look at
Oh,
this.
nothing for sale, but you've got hats and T-shirts. You're ready to.
Oh yeah. Let me.
Ah,
Yeah, Jim, give me a mug. Give me a mug. We got mugs. We're gonna have a Bitcoin Cruise T-shirt. I should have that on. Is there a T-shirt here? Let's see some of the things you got. Oh
they're saying in the chat that clothing is
no,
optional.
this is Bitcoin.
Well, you
Huh?
won't get a T-shirt. Clothing is optional.
Well, that's true anywhere. That's true anywhere. You know, you never have to wear clothes. Now, you may have to face some consequences if you don't wear them, but they've always been. You were born that way. You know, you were born without clothes, and so, uh, you know, that seems to be the way things at least start out until we hit the world and need to protect ourselves against the elements.
And that's the way
Let me
Bitcoin
wear
started.
those hats.
Bitcoin came into the world naked, all alone, no friends, only Hal and Satoshi and that other guy, Maka or whatever. And now Bitcoin has all these friends, and Bitcoin has clothes everywhere. Bitcoin has friends everywhere. So
Yes.
you got a whole bunch of hats there. Ugly. What kind of hats you got going there? Hold up and show the people. Yeah.
Well, we got this one. This is ugly old goat in Bitcoin. Let's see, we got these are just some of them. Here's another ugly old goat in Bitcoin.
Ooh,
And
Stonewash.
here's just I love Bitcoin.
I do love Bitcoin.
And oh yeah. So we have all kinds of things. Oh, and then we'll have all the Bitcoin. You'll be getting they only have 2 of these staffs. And the only 2 that get to have these staffs are Mad Bitcoin and Ugly Old Goat.
Oh, that's
So
perfect because I'm driving out, so I'll be able to bring it back in the car. I don't know how I'm going to get on the airplane and going through the airport. Non
we're gonna bring it. No, you don't get to keep it, but
pass. I'll just gotta start selling them then, man. You gotta start making them.
well, we are. That's the whole thing. We are going to start selling them. What we want to do, you know, we awarded this to Safedon Amos last year at Unconfiscatable because he was the Bitcoin standard bearer of 2018, and we want to do that every year. Award somebody that made outstanding contributions to Bitcoin, and that's the Bitcoin standard bearer. And I'm thinking, I've always wanted, I'm passing this around, and you guys got to jump on this because I don't want control of this thing. But I'm thinking that everybody that buys a staff, any money that we make from that goes into a little, like the Nobel Prize of Bitcoin. And so if you have a staff and you purchase one, it's kind of like you have a vote in the nominating process because we can't let everybody vote because we'd have all these altcoiners nominating Roger Ver or something like that.
And Bitcoiner of the Year, Vitalik Buterin.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So yeah, and that cartoon that you were mentioning, Gabe, that's going to be our last speaker. I can't remember his name. Can you pull up that
It says final panel with Q&A with all speakers and disembark.
That's the last night, but that's going to be the last night where any questions after we have this conference and people can, and we're probably going to have a dance contest too. Who can do the hodl, build, and you know, have some really super prizes for those that can do the. You know, that sounds like a really stupid dance, but people remember it, and it's everything you need to know about Bitcoin. You know, you need to hodl it. Number 1, hodl. Okay, you save it, and by save, it's a kind of a perversion of the word savvy. And that means that if you're savvy, when you made a lot in Bitcoin, you sell a little bit and you upgrade. I know you upgraded your laptop because you told us you did, Mad Bitcoin.
Oh, my laptop is falling apart. I bought it with Bcash, which was a great move over keeping cash. And yeah, I knew it was a bad idea to name it. I didn't name it Bcash, but I named it like B Money or something. We had a poll, and yeah, it's kind of always had a taint to it. It's not quite a normal Apple laptop. Something recently went wrong with the screen. I had to pay $500 to get it repaired. Usually Apple's like, of course, sir, we'll repair that for free. We've seen how many laptops you bought. We've seen how many phones we bought. We've seen, wow, you've been a customer since then. This time it was like, no, $500 cash on the barrelhead. It's the only thing that makes you a customer
Wow.
here. So yeah, my laptop's on the rough days, but yeah, it is great with Bitcoin. I did get some donations recently. I did a fundraising drive for gear, and I got this great soundboard that everyone's listening to right now. And one of the things I'm going to bring to the convention is the new soundboard. I bought some great wired microphones that don't have any battery problems at all. We never have to charge them. We never have to go to the store and buy batteries. You just run a cable, right? Sound through the cable. Genius. So we're going to have all that with us at the Ugly Old Goat Bitcoin Cruise. And it's a good test.
No, it's not Ugly Old Goat. It's the Working Man's Bitcoin Cruise. Ugly Old Goat, I'm just kind of, I kind of just put it together. It's an idea of mine, but it's not mine to keep. Okay. None of this stuff that I'm doing, I'm doing because I love Bitcoin. But Ugly Old Goat can go away. But hopefully, the Working Man Bitcoin Cruise is here to stay.
That sounds great. And they're talking about in the chat how you can get a flight there. Everyone wants to fly here now. Remember, you can go to Google Flights. You can set it on the calendar and it'll show you the different prices. I guess you'd have to fly in pretty quick to get to this. You still have about a week. You can order a flight ahead a week. It works pretty good.
Right.
Chester,
But don't wait on ordering the conference ticket, guys, because there's going to be a point where we can't take anymore. We have some left. And then if you call and you wait, you're going to say, oh, I really wanted to go. And we say, well, I mean, we'll try, but I don't, but it's pretty, we were told it's limited to 60. The conference room isn't going to take any more than that. And if this, because of the race, the cruise could be sold out. So we have a limit, a hard limit of 60, and that it does not include the speakers. We've got at least 12 of those spots for speakers. So if you're going to do it, look, do it now. It's going to be the most fun you ever had, and it just it's never been done before. All this stuff is all these conferences. I went to a conference. The last one I went to, I was so disappointed because they call it the Bitcoin Day, and there was nothing about Bitcoin on it. It was all about other coins, and that was so sad. And this is only going to be about Bitcoin, and this is only going to feature real entrepreneurs that use Bitcoin every day and have built small businesses doing that. And the number one and oldest entrepreneur I know of is who you're looking at right now, and that's Mad Bitcoin. Mad Bitcoin? Mad Bitcoin. And so it's so appropriate. And you know what? I think Mad Bitcoin should be the MC of this conference so long as it exists, because he's the one and only original, as we all know that have ever paid attention to Mad Bitcoin.
Now, a lot of people talk about getting their first Bitcoin and they want to be one of 21 million. And I think that's great. But right here, what we're offering you is a chance to be one of 60. Now, like Ugly said, there's lots of these conferences going on. I've been to many of them, and some of them, they're just financial conferences. They're just about payments. And you have all these people from this industry they like to call fintech. They're from fintech, and they're sharks, and they're here to get you. And they want to sell you their altcoin, or they want to sell you their loan service, or maybe they just want to hold your Bitcoins for you because you can trust them. They're in fintech. They do payments. This isn't going to be like that. This is going to be a real Bitcoin conferences with Bitcoiners who you'll get to meet. I'll forget your name, but I'll remember your face. And that's the best we're going to do. And it's going to be real. We're going to hang out for multiple days. This is a chance to pitch your idea. Maybe you always wanted a show on the World Crypto Network, or maybe you want to change things on the Ugly Old Goat channel, or you want to get some consulting going. There's something you want to do on this ship. You can find a way to do it here. Now, it looks like Ugly stepped out, so that means I'm in charge for a second. So we're going to go ahead and predict the price of Bitcoin for you. I know a lot of you guys have charts and analysis and all kinds of technologies. We here at the World Crypto Network have the magical Bitcoin predictor ball. That's right. There is only one of these in existence, and we're about to ask it. The only question that it answers is the price of Bitcoin going to be higher next week in time for the cruise. Here we go. Now it says on the Wikipedia page, you're not supposed to shake magic 8 balls. It can cause bubbles, but they say most users shake it to increase the magic. Here it is. Will the price of Bitcoin go up this time next week? My sources say no. My sources say no. The ball has spoken. The price of Bitcoin is going down. You heard it here first. Mark it in the comments down below. Ball has spoken.
Wow. The Bitcoin ball has spoken. I didn't know you had that. Wow.
It's pretty impressive. A lot of
Where did you
technology.
find that?
A lot of websites. We're working on a World Crypto Network. We might be able to offer you one of these in the future, but we got to raise funds to make things, to sell things, to raise funds. So it doesn't make a lot of sense sometimes. But
well, I don't know where Ugly went, but this is Conrad, okay? And I just wanted because people want to kind of know who I am too, and I have a very storied past. Let's put it that way. And Thomas has made his bones on YouTube. He's got all this fantastic equipment, and I started out writing. Everybody does this different, but I started out writing Medium articles, and had got lots of following about that. But I wrote the Medium articles because I not only did I purchase Bitcoin in 2013, but I have a lot of experience in trading it. So I gave very general and free trading advice, and I just appreciate everybody that supports me on Medium, because that's where I started out. And because of you guys and because of the lifetime subscribers that I have, I'm able to kind of go the next step, and we're going to sponsor this cruise. And guys, it's not about me. It's not about the ugly old goat. It's really about you. I define where we are right now. The next big move in Bitcoin is going to be it's going to have a longer duration and go farther than any move we've seen before. And it's not going to be generated by banking the unbanked or all this other crap or altruistic ideas. It's going to come from entrepreneurs who already are providing services in the marketplace. And there's only two kinds of entrepreneurs, okay? There's those like Mad Bitcoin and Thomas Hunt and Ugly Old Goat, that they have, they're entrepreneurs with Bitcoin. And our responsibility is to teach those entrepreneurs without Bitcoin how to get into it. And we both know, Mad Bitcoins, how difficult that is. The number one difficulty is we got to get them to Bitcoin alone. That's 95% of it right there.
It's so easy to say, what will the new Bitcoin be? Maybe I should buy that. What will the new smart contracts be? Maybe I should buy that. But if you stick with the original, if you stick with the Bitcoin, you'll casually just make a little bit of money if you can hold on to it. I was talking to one of my cousins recently, and they told me how back in the day, I want to say 5 years ago, that I sent them a series of emails. Bitcoin's $150. Maybe you should get some. Bitcoin's $250. Maybe you should get some. Bitcoin's $300. Maybe you should get some. And the whole time, you know what they did? They didn't get any at all. None at all. And now, I'm not well off or anything, but I have a little bit of money. I have money for a cruise. I have money to drive around and stuff. And part of that's from Bitcoin. Part of that's from taking this risk, buying something strange, and then seeing how it goes, and also just reading about it. I mean, once you read about it, you don't think it's a risk anymore. You're like, oh, there's 21 million. It's internet. It's digital. It's on your phone. The millennials, how do they pay for things? Oh, they use their phones.
We are going to have a special guest that's unannounced. And in fact, I can't even, he wants a low profile because he's a little bit embarrassed, but he's a very special person to me that introduced me to Bitcoin way back in 11 or 12, I think 2012. And then after it went up to $280, he missed the move, and he's missed the move ever since. And so that's the other thing we need to. It's really hard to break that thinking that you think that, oh, I missed it. Bitcoin's already had its move, and yet we know we know this thing's just starting, and we are the Bitcoin standard, and we are. I'm going to be writing about the Bitcoin nation. We are really an evolving nation without any land. We only protect one thing. What is it that we protect, Mad Bitcoins?
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin. That's the land of the free and home of the brave. And that's what every time we do a transaction, we just make it a little better and a little more secure, don't we?
Yep. And it's easy to feel like you've missed it. I remember I thought I missed it at $1. I was the dumbest person ever. I thought I missed it at $30. And then when it went to $300, boy, did I think I was stupid. And, sure, I could only get a couple or something. And I try to hold on. I have bills and expenses and things. But then it goes to 1,000, then it goes to 10,000, 20,000. You're like, wow, maybe I'm not so stupid after all. I finally got a little piece of this thing. But I know how hard it is in the day. I used to think I was going to put $1,000 in. Or I was going to put $0 in. If I'd put $100 in, I would have been fine. But I couldn't put the 1,000 in. I couldn't risk the 1,000. I worked hard for it, that kind of thing. But I want to go ahead and do the psychological part of the cruise here. I want to psychologically convince you to go on the cruise. Now, I don't regret any of the Bitcoin conferences I've gone to, even the fintech ones, even the Sharky ones, even the ones where maybe I spent too much money on the flight or the hotel or something like that. Expenses got out of control and you have to judge it. But for this one, I want to say I do regret the Bitcoin conferences I didn't go to. In 2013, it was around April, May 2013. I was just starting with Mad Bitcoins, and I could have gone to the San Jose Bitcoin conference, but I didn't get off my ass and drive down there. I was like, I'm not into it. I'm new. No one knows me. I've done this show a week. It's no one cares. If I had gone there, I would have met all these people who started all these companies all that much sooner. So in the same way in Amsterdam, I think it was 2014, I was nominated for an award. I didn't win, but I could have gone to the award ceremony. I could have met everyone in Amsterdam sooner. Instead, I met them later. So this is your chance to be one of 60. I don't, meeting Mad Bitcoins is not going to give you business success or money or wealth or power or anything, but I'm a nice guy. I'll talk to you. Ugly's a nice guy. He'll talk to you. And there's a lot of other Bitcoiners who are also nice, who will talk to you, who are guys and gals who just want to talk about Bitcoin and all the exciting stuff that's happening. So I really do think if you're doing nothing this coming weekend, if you've got an extra $800, it's not going to break the bank. Let's not go into debt for this kind of thing. But if you've got some extra money, you want to do this cruise, go ahead and sign up. I'm going to put the link in one more time. And it's not about the referral code or any of this nonsense. Like Ugly saying, this is about you coming to this meetup and hanging out with me and Juan Galt and Ugly and Gabriel Devine and all these other guys that maybe you've seen on Twitter or you've seen on the World Crypto Network. And you're always like, that guy seems cool. I wonder if I ask him this, what he'll say. This is your chance to do that in a very direct and human manner, not an annoying direct message or a strange chat thing or something. But this is your chance to get involved, join the cruise, be part of Bitcoin. Nobody is not part of Bitcoin. Even if you don't have $800, you're still part of Bitcoin. But if you got $800 and a weekend off and maybe a flight from somewhere else, come on down. Let's go on this cruise. There you go. And
That's
the best I got. So,
Yeah, well, it's going to be, yeah, my wife and I, we went on the cruise this last weekend just so we weren't going to be surprised of what was going on. And we really had a blast. I mean, it was the cruise ship, the staff was very helpful all the way through. Everything is taken care of, all of your food. The only extra expense that you're going to have is for drinks. And if the alcoholic drinks, they're reasonable. And if you want alcohol, you can buy a ticket for all the per day for all the soft drinks you want if you're going to drink something like that. If you want to bring you cannot take any liquor on board, but you can take one bottle of wine per person. So if we tried to take, my wife and I are from Mexico, we like to drink tequila, and we weren't allowed to do that, but it said, no, you can bring a bottle of wine. So if you want to do that, I would, per person, you can bring one on and they'll let you have it on. So no, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. If you've never been to Mexico, Ensenada is the the first town across the border. It's about an hour and a half south of San Diego, but the border town Tijuana is a border town. Ensenada is not. It's genuinely Mexico. So you'll see that, you'll see the real Mexico, and why I love it so much. There's so much freedom down here compared to the United States. We're kind of big into the motorcycles and ATVs. So we'll have a few ATVs down here where the Bitcoin house is just a couple blocks from the beach. And you'll be live streaming here anyway when we do the open house. So that'll be from 1:30 to 4:30 on Saturday. So we got a shuttle bus that'll take us to and from the race and back to the cruise ship. So I mean, it's just going to be a lot of fun. A lot of these guys I've never met. Mad. Yes, we did a show. What am I talking about? What Unconfiscatables, where we did that show. Yeah, I think
that was another one that I didn't want to go to.
Yacht cruise.
I was going to be lazy and stay home, and then I ended up going to the convention. I did a bunch of really good interviews, and it's sad, but I even got to do that great proof of work interview with Tyler, and kind of preserve a little of his wisdom and his story about computers and calculators and typewriters. And it was a really good time. And I'm glad I did the interview, and I'm glad I went to the conference. It's easier to stay home and be lazy, but it's good to get out there in the world and do things.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I got to go. Maybe Ugly can come back and finish this up for you.
All right. And thanks to everybody for joining us in the chat. Be sure to give us a thumbs up and a share. And hopefully someone was convinced to sign up for the cruise. Maybe you're watching this later. You're not watching it live, but you're still being convinced. You've still got a chance. You've got about a week left. Even if you had to fly, you can make travel plans. Remember, Google Flights has really good deals on flights. They're saying in the chat, has anyone ever been to Mexico? This is your chance. You could hang out with Danny Trejo. I said that wrong, I'm sure. From Machete and Con Air. I don't know that he'll be there, but he's from Mexico. Respect. Oh, look who's back. Don't recognize him.
I heard somebody took my place for a while.
There's a Conrad or somebody here. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who he is. He's not near as much fun as I am.
And you'll be at the cruise too, ugly old goat.
Yeah, both of us will be there. So that's a 2-for-1 right there. You get, not only do you get Ugly Old Goat, but you get Conrad. You're going to get a lifetime subscription to Ugly Old Goat newsletter, which is 1/10 of a Bitcoin. But anybody that comes to the conference, we're going to throw that into the package. You also get the beta program for our new equity app that we're working on. Okay, and we're going to have an engineer friend of mine from Tijuana, Victor, and I didn't realize how much work goes into building these all this developing this back end, but it's just, I don't know how they do it. But he outlined all the problems that he was having, but he's overcome every one of them, and we'll just see where it goes. So and it's a whole different way. Like I say, if you read any of my articles, I'm different from all the rest of them. I don't look at the charts too much. I look at that equity box, and my number one thing is dollar cost average. Just if you dollar cost average, you don't have to worry about the price. By its very definition, you will buy more at the lower prices than at the higher prices. And then once you have your HODL, you don't even want to be trading Bitcoin until you have a HODL. Once you have a HODL, then it's okay to trade a little small part of that. So, but anyway, hey, thanks for having me on, Mad Bitcoin. I'm really looking forward to this. And I don't think we need to even rehearse anything, because we'll just get up there and make fools of ourselves on stage. And Mad Bitcoin is going to be emceeing the entire event, except for me. I'll be emceeing a couple places, particularly when Thomas Hunt. I'm going to MC that for Thomas Hunt when Thomas Hunt speaks. Does that sound about right? Is that the way that this should work? Or can Mad Bitcoin also MC for Thomas Hunt? Is that possible?
Maybe if we have a phone booth or some kind of Saturday Night Live technology or something.
Okay.
You talk to him live, boy. I'm on tape. But
Hey,
yep.
Thomas, I really enjoy you. You're really you're genuine. You've had a tremendous influence on me, and I know countless others. And God bless you, man. You're a good man.
Well, thanks so much, Ugly Old Goat. Thanks for
And Mad Bitcoin is coming back. He just was a little too early on this because everybody was just so serious about Bitcoin. But you know what? We need to let our hair down and have a little bit of fun. And that's why whenever I sign off, I do a little dance and also teach. And what I do is I go, hodl, 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 save, 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 build a, build a, build a, sound money, sound money. And we'll probably even have at the end of the conference, we might even have a dance contest and who can come with that. Maybe Gabriel Devine can write some background music for that dance. He says that if he has to get up there and dance, he's going to be seasick, but he's a musician. Maybe he can give us a theme song for that little ditty, because to me, it sums up everything about Bitcoin. And man, Bitcoin, you are a great builder. I don't think I covered that yet. I talked about hodling and saving, but you are also the builder. You've built all of these different things with Bitcoin behind it. Now, you don't have to be building on Bitcoin. You just be the best at what you are. You know, if you have a car wash, if you're a dentist, you know, if you are a contractor, you still want to be using Bitcoin. That's how you build it. Now, Mad Bitcoin, his building is within the Bitcoin community, and that's fine too. And most of these people will be too. But I also, that's why we have the Bitcoin chef coming on, and I have other people. I have so many people. My contractor, he doesn't have a visa to get in the United States, but I invited him to come because he's built the Bitcoin house. And you introduce them to Bitcoin, and you say, well, you know, you just ask, what do you have that can't be taken away from you? And they start thinking about it and thinking about it, and then they say, wow, everything I have can be taken away from me. Well, not Bitcoin, not Bitcoin. And that's what this is all about. And that's why, you know, we are a Bitcoin nation in and of itself, because we're apart from, and it's voluntary. You can come into it anytime you want, and you can leave it anytime you want. And yet the very fact that you hodl Bitcoin means that you're securing the network and making it more valuable.
It reminds me of the very end of Cyrano de Bergerac, where he's just been hit by a flower pot, and spoiler alert, Cyrano is on his way out, and he's talking about all the things that he's lost and how he's lost his courage and he lost his strength and he lost not his honor, but he lost his physicality and everything. And at the end, he's like, there's one thing that I haven't lost, my soldier's plume, which is his honor and his soul, his character staying strong to the end. And the one thing we won't lose towards the end is Bitcoin. That's be the last thing we have. So thanks so much to everybody who joined us. Be sure to give us a thumbs up and a share. Check out the Working Man's Bitcoin Cruise over at the Ugly Old Goat website. We'll get the link in the description below and put it in the chat one more time. I'm hoping that at least maybe 5 to 10 people get motivated by this, go out and sign up and join us on the cruise. And then you'll be there on the cruise and you'll say to me, I saw that weird YouTube show you did with Ugly Old Goat, and it motivated me to get off my ass and go on this cruise and meet some Bitcoin people. And then 6 months later, you'll be like, I know some Bitcoin people, and you know, I know these other Bitcoin people, and I met them all on that cruise. This could be you, or you'll be at home watching the live stream and maybe watching tennis or golf on TV or something. Not very fun. But thanks so much, everybody, joining us. We'll be back again soon. Until
And I don't think we're going to have a live stream tomorrow. All right. Thank you, Mad Bitcoin. Bye-bye.
Ah.